Hey guys, welcome to a new video. My name is Stephanie West. I'm an LPC here in the state of Michigan. Today I want to talk to you about what it looks like to possibly navigate some uncomfortable emotions that others might be experiencing. And I want to give kind of two strategies. One is how to maybe gently push back against someone who wants you to shut down your emotions. And the second one is to not over respond and kind of become part of someone else's emotions and create space for they can do what they do and I'm okay too doing what I do. So the first anecdote, when I went through a really tough season about 1.5 years ago, I was sitting with someone and I was, I had a long face, I had a heavy heart, things were just really hard for me. And I was sitting on the ground petting a dog and this person comes up to me and sits in front of me and she just starts crying. And I was like, may I help you? And she's like, you just look so sad. I said, right, my earth has shattered around me. I'm pretty sad right now. And she said, I don't want you to be sad. And this is the strategy that you can use. I looked at her and I said, here's the thing. Where I'm at right now, I'm leveled. I'm incredibly sad. And you can sit here with me and be sad, or you can go over there and not be around my sadness. But I can't change that. That's where I'm at right now because I'm profoundly sad. And we got through that kind of maybe the tense or the awkwardness of like, oh, she's not going to just cheer up for me. I'm not, because I'm profoundly sad right now, and that's where I'm at. And I want to kind of invite you into explaining that to someone. If someone's trying to silver line something or get you to be like happy when you're not happy or to calm you down about something, it's okay to say, hey, this is where I'm at right now. And you can be with me in it or you can not be with me. Those are both options, but this is where I'm at right now. The second strategy is asking you to not co-opt someone else's emotions and take them personally. So I went out with a couple friends, and I have one friend, she is very brazen. So a couple of us are kind of single gals, and a friend is married, but she'll go and kind of just approach anyone. So we're out and she sees this table full of, nice young gentlemen, and she walks over and she says like, hey, is anyone single here? Hey, I have some single girlfriends. And so we all start chit-chatting. And, there's a dance floor, and I've told you I, love to dance, some people might call it. Flail about, whatever. But we're inviting this one guy. His name was Austin. We're like, hey, Austin, come dance. And he's like, no, I'm all set. And, as the night goes on, you go over and you're like, oh, come on, Austin, it'd be so fun. And he's like, nope, I'm all set. And you're like, oh, come on, but, you could be doing this too. And he's like, no, I'm all set. Well, as we were walking out, this was a couple hours later, we had kind of intersected with them a bunch of different times. I walk over there and he just kind of motioned me over and he said, hey, do you have a second? And I said, yeah. And he said, I'd like to explain why I didn't want to participate. He said, I was at one point supposed to get married and my fiance passed away. And today being my birthday, it's just sitting with me really heavy right now. And I stood there and not an ounce of like, oh my word, I shouldn't have pushed him, or oh, I did the inappropriate thing, or maybe I said something stupid. I just stood there with him and I said, man, that sounds incredibly difficult and I'm sorry. And it certainly explains why you weren't feeling festive tonight. That makes sense to me. And I just kind of stood there for a minute and he didn't say much more. And then I said, I hope tomorrow's a better day for you. And that sounds significantly painful. And I laughed because there's nothing I could have done in that moment to I wasn't going to apologize because I was being engaging. That wasn't necessary. I wasn't going to try to sit there and, therapize him while he's out on a Friday night with friends. I wasn't going to, make it into a situation that it wasn't. But for those brief moments I had with him, I was able to sit with him and say, man, that sounds really hard. And I'm sorry that that's what you're going through. And he's allowed to have his space and his emotions. And I didn't have to feel like I had crossed a line or done something wrong. I didn't know his context. And when I did know his context, I showed up next to him and said, man, that sounds really tough. And I hate that for you. And I'm sorry. And that's as much empathy as I can bring into that situation. I can't absolve his pain. I wasn't going to apologize. It was just one of those moments where I can sit with someone in their sadness and say, oh, that's rough. But not take away their pain, not try to stop their emotion. So those are two very concrete things I want to invite you into. What does it look like to advocate for yourself and say, these emotions are fine. And if you're uncomfortable, you're allowed to relocate. And the second thing is if someone's having a hard time, what does it just look like to say, I'm sorry, and that sounds really hard, and I hope things get better for you. So it's not about taking away people's pain. It's about honoring the fact that pain is so hard and it's difficult when it shows up, but we can navigate it. Patience, understanding, self-compassion, graciousness, it all matters. Hopefully those are helpful and practical tips. Thanks so much.